NaruTalk, the Naruto ShipPodcast, is made possible through contributions from listeners like you. To help support the podcast and to earn exclusive rewards, head to www.patreon.com/NaruTalkPod. That's www.patreon.com/NaruTalkPod. Believe it!
Hey everyone, this is Naruto Uzumaki, and you're listening to NaruTalk. Believe it!
Hello everyone, welcome back to NaruTalk, the greatest podcast ever to be all about Naruto. I'm your host, Liam English, and with me as always is my co-host, Morgan Williamson.
Hello everybody.
How's your tea, Morgan?
It's hot.
What kind of tea is it?
Lavender tea.
Oh.
What hot is it?
The hot
Is it the same kind of lavender as the oil that you smeared on my face?
No, and it's also not the same kind of lavender that I sprayed on your face or rubbed on your hand.
Wow, so this is a lavender-themed episode.
Sponsor us, lavender.
Oh yeah, we should call up
Lavender?
smells. Somebody get smell on our line.
We have a different fragrance for every podcast.
We should
I
definitely...
have many.
You can just spray one all around the room every time.
We're gonna have to see if any of the smells can sponsor us first, and then
Lavender, because I own everything in lavender.
All right, well we'll hit them up first for sure.
Cool.
I am also joined by my co-host Katie Suderi.
Hi.
Hi, Katie.
Hi.
I don't have any fun questions for you. I was looking you up and down. I was like,
Yeah.
what
I
can
also have tea, but it's over there, so I don't make noise with it.
Isn't it also empty?
No, it's spiced chai.
Oh, it's
Is your
just
tea empty?
No,
Mm.
I just wasn't gonna drink
Full
it because I
tea.
slurp.
That's probably good. And also, I definitely touch the table that the mic is on way too much while we're recording, and I can always hear it. It's
Motherfucker playing the keyboard right
it's
here.
yeah,
Liam is. No.
it's definitely something I need to.
My
Yeah.
name is not Liam.
I
Thank you.
know. Morgan is your table.
I'm
now.
the table.
Ah.
I said Liam was your table.
And I am also joined by my lovely co-host, longtime co-host from
Liam
day
English.
one, Raj.
It's me.
Hey, Raj.
Hey, Liam.
Oh God, we looked at each other. That never happens while we're recording.
No, that is strange. It's the same, like, it was the same level of, like, strange as when, like, you ever just, like, I was, like, fucking, like, 16.
Were you now? Oh, sorry.
I was fucking 16, and I woke up at like 4 a.m. in a daze. My
Uh-huh.
TV's still on, and all I see is Scooby and the gang driving down a highway. When out of nowhere, a boulder falls under them, and it stops. They're alive. Who catches the boulder? John Cena. It was the WWE collab
Interesting.
film.
Never a good thing to wake up to.
No, it was terrifying.
I want to see everybody in Scooby-Doo. We talked about it before in a different episode, Naruto and Scooby-Doo. Because Toonami is on Cartoon Network, so there's no reason that they couldn't do that, right?
Dude, no,
Yeah, I
remember
guess
that
that's
whole like
true.
Shaggy meme? Absolute Shaggy.
Yeah.
Dude, he could have been a Naruto.
Have Shaggy... Put Shaggy in Boruto. Nobody cares what happens in
You
Boruto.
know, they got guns and trading cards, man. Who
Yeah,
fucking
seriously.
cares?
Do you want to introduce the podcast
Yes.
this week?
So, here's our shy little friend, NaruTalk Pod. He thought you were cute, but he couldn't say anything. And usually his whole gimmick is that we as a collective friend of NaruTalk Pod,
Sure.
watch 2 to 4 episodes of NaruTalk Pod.
Of Naruto. Imagine if there was a NaruTalk pod where they listened to our episodes
Talked
That'd
about
and then talked about it.
That'd be
That's
fucking
terrifying.
And
insane.
it just went forever down like an infinite chain.
Okay, but seriously, we watch 2 to 4 episodes of the original Naruto show. We watch it on the dub, not the sub.
True.
And then canon only, no filler. That shit is whack, not co-signed by us.
Not co-signed.
And
Or
then
tangent.
we
little trigonometry.
Udon, I like algebra.
I know, deadass.
And and then we all strip naked in a room, get down in front of a mic, and NaruTalk about
I
it.
think I
Yep, that
messed
is
it up.
actually what's happening.
Well, for all they know.
Remember that one time I podcast in just a robe?
I do.
That
Yeah, you
was
did.
iconic.
Don't you have the robe on now?
I do, but I'm wearing
Just with-
clothes.
Okay,
Just close
alright.
underneath.
Game changing.
Although, while Raj did say that we only watch canon episodes, we did actually watch one filler episode last week. We watched episode 26 for...
It was awful.
Yeah.
It was
Yes.
a mistake.
But it was a horrible mistake. But we did it for something that was not a mistake, which was Rio Radio, our Patreon exclusive spin-off little Patreodcast, as one might say.
I love
Whoa.
that. The first time you said
Patreodcast.
Patreodcast.
Yeah, I definitely...
Wait, when have you? I've never heard him say that before.
He didn't say it out loud. He just
It's
put
in
it-
the logo.
he typed
It's
it,
way
yeah.
better when you say it out loud.
Isn't that
Patreodcast?
fantastic?
Definitely not my original idea, but I'll take credit for it, sure.
Oh.
Yeah, I definitely took it from someone
Oh.
whose Patreodcast I listened to. But on that special episode, we had Ali Caruso back to talk about the 19 episodes that these two new co-hosts, Morgan and Katie, missed. And so we watched episode 26, which I thought was going to be a recap episode. It wasn't. It was just a terrible mess of clips from prior episodes. It was nonsense.
Just the weirdest.
Yeah. So, but what is good is that we did have a recap, and it was a great episode, and you can get it for only $5 on the Patreon. That's so little money.
Yeah.
That is very little money.
I mean, I do I have $5? No. But
That's
if I
like
did,
one Starbucks a month,
one Starbucks a month.
which is ridiculous
Starbucks,
for Starbucks,
yeah,
but
that-
not that bad for a podcast.
Yeah.
$5 for coffee?
How
that
how
crazy?
Jesus.
how long does it take you to drink a Starbucks?
Me, a lot shorter than most people.
Well, how long? Just get guesstimate.
Well, I have 10-minute breaks at work that I have to drink the entire thing in
There
10
you go.
minutes.
The Patreodcast, an hour and 20 minutes, uncut, uncensored, except for where one of our patrons lives. I did bleep that out.
We
But-
love you, Dave.
It's hardcore. It's awesome. Don't miss it. Head over to www.patreon.com/NaruTalkPod and pledge some motherfucking money.
Are you okay?
I don't know, man.
Did you breathe during any of that?
I was gonna ask. Well, actually, there was one thing that we missed in our recap. I listened back to it today, and the tree training. We didn't talk about that.
Wait, I've mentioned it before.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to make sure, because I wanted to check in with you two and see if you guys felt at all caught up from that, just so that the audience at home knows where y'all are at, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that helped a lot, but also not with these episodes. Like, because these episodes felt caught up, but like from the episodes I've seen,
Right,
rather than
yeah.
from the recap. But I feel like eventually with bigger overarching plots, other than just like the Chunin
Yeah,
Exams,
big
it'll
time.
like be very helpful. Where like right now, it's like I'm kind of good with like
That's
the
fair.
Chunin
That's
Exam stuff that we have.
What about you, Morgan?
I can't talk right now. I have to sneeze.
I didn't know if you were like, let me talk, or if you were like specifically, do not make me talk right now.
No. I felt caught up. I'm gonna be honest.
Uh-huh.
So, was Raj sick when we recorded last week's main?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
dying.
Well, now I've gotten that illness.
And I think Raj
because
is also still sick.
Raj and I are in
I'm still
love,
fucked.
and it's canon, so we
Right.
share the same illnesses.
Oh, yeah. That's
But
Get you a girl who could share your illnesses.
but now I've got it. So I don't really remember anything, and my brain's real foggy.
Oh.
So like I watched the episodes, couldn't tell you
But
anything that happened. in them.
Memory aside, do you feel caught up?
Yes, I feel like my brain has a lot more
Alright.
knowledge than I can access right now.
The one thing that we did miss in our little recap, and I have to say only because it plays into today's episodes, is that while they were with the bridge builder preparing to fight that assassin Zabuza, they trained to focus their chakra in their feet, which is the hardest place to focus your chakra, and they walked up trees.
Oh wait, no, we talked
yeah,
about
we
this
did
when
talk about
Gara
that.
was hanging upside
Yeah,
down.
yeah, we
Yeah.
did. But I just wanted to like double emphasize because
Okay.
I didn't mention it in
Got
the
it.
catch up. All right, this week's episodes are 27 and 28. It's a 2-episode week this week, and it is the beginning of the Forest of Death section of the Chunin Exams.
Or it's episodes 1 and 2.
Oh yeah, or episode 1 and 2 of season 2.
Yeah.
If you're watching on Netflix. Raj, you watch on Hulu, right?
I do watch on Hulu. And, I mean, if you could deal with shitty ads and kind of fucked subtitles, it's fine.
Does it separate it into seasons though?
Yeah, it does, but it's weird because one season will have... How many episodes did season 1 have?
26 on Netflix.
I think it would do 26 as it does episode 1 sub, episode 1 dub,
Oh,
episode
yeah,
1,
yeah.
episode 2 dub, like shit like
Right, but are you on season 2 on Hulu
that.
now?
I believe so, yeah.
All right, yeah. So these were episodes 1 and 2 of season 2, or 27 and 28 of the show overall.
While we're on this note, season 2 I think has my favorite opening, and I think my least favorite outro.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the outro with Sakura and Ino
Yeah.
swaying together.
That is just terrifying.
Especially considering the last one was like a butterfly and this beautiful...
That shit was amazing.
Oh, it
Don't
was-
Cry Naruto is amazing.
It's a gorgeous song.
And that intro, too, is kind of, like, really fun. But this intro for second
Yeah.
season is
Oh, yeah, it's
so
badass.
good. Yeah, it's hardcore.
I do
as
think
fuck.
that the Sakura Ino Envit is so fucking funny, especially
Yeah.
on the episodes, because the episodes we're about to talk about are dark as fuck,
Mm-hmm.
and so to cut to those two motherfucking in chibi form swaying back and forth, it's just goddamn hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but without any further ado, let's NaruTalk about it. We open in the Forest of Death with a bird landing on a tree branch only to be devoured by a snake just beyond the perimeter fence. An ominous omen. Spooky.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, I know, but it does lay down the tone for these upcoming
I
episodes.
mean, it really
Yeah.
does, but I didn't like it.
And more importantly, a tonal shift because
This-
Silent Hill
Ew.
shit.
yeah, as
Yeah.
opposed to the goofy ass the past couple episodes that
Yeah.
we've been watching have been just
They were fun though.
Cartoony as
they
fuck.
were fun. That's
I did really enjoy these ones though.
Cause,
Yeah,
I'm
but
excited
it's
to talk about them.
big time different.
like just
Yeah.
the ending of like the whole it's the forest of death.
Yeah,
thing. And the
yeah.
last episode now it's just it's the actual forest
Yeah,
of
yeah.
death.
Because in fucking 25, it was like, oh, jeez. That gosh.
It's a training ground.
But in this one, it's like, nah, you're gonna fucking die.
yeah, this is it.
Outside, the Genin wait nervously, and Anko affirms their fright. The Forest of Death, she says, lives up to its name. Then Naruto mocks her loudly, and he goes into like a super deformed animation thing where he's like swinging his hips back and forth like fucking Sakura and Ino in the end
He
song.
looked like a weird SpongeBob meme.
Yeah, he did. It was so weird. I didn't even know how to like write about it. And she declares that he won't be scared and he can handle anything. In response, though, Anko slings a kunai just past his head, grazing his cheek, and does that the super speed flash thing that people do sometimes, and appears behind him. And she's like, "Oh, are you scared now?" And then she rubs the cut on his cheek and brushes away the blood from under it, which is so weird. Why would your teacher do that to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's obviously different from an actual teacher.
Well,
but,
sure.
Like, also the part, just the touchiness and like
Still-
it
Ninja
makes it
school.
very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just so gross, man. But then something way more gross happens because another Genin appears behind Anko, holding
yeah.
out the kunai that she threw with her oversized tongue.
I felt like I was invading a very. It's okay. I'm gonna be honest. It felt like a hentai.
Yeah.
It was so weird.
And the tongue was animated hentai-ly. It was like
Yeah.
so...
Entirely. That's so funny.
It was so moist,
it's
bro.
Yeah.
It's a tongue. It's just what it is. It's like there's clear attributes as to who these characters are.
Sure.
That are exaggerated because it's still like cartoony as fuck.
But
It was just so material, like the tongue.
yeah, I know.
There's
Like,
texture.
you should, like,
And they did it in the
I don't know.
first episode too, when the fourth Hokage shows up on the frog in the
Yeah,
flashback.
he
We
does the
talked about
tongue, yeah.
they animate tongues so weirdly well in this show.
Because like
Yeah.
tongues can be really creepy.
Yeah,
And really sexy.
but
Exactly. So it's one of those like like scared boners.
yeah, right. Well,
Like I'm terrified, but this is hot.
yeah, well, sure. No. I feel like having a scared boner is a good way to watch Naruto.
Definitely.
That's how I watch Naruto.
Frankly, it's the only way. Anko defensively raises another kunai, but the grass Genin insists that they were simply returning the knife. The two stare each other down for a moment until Anko threatens to kill the Genin if they don't back away from her space. The Genin claims that they were simply excited by the sight of blood and retreat.
Which, okay, so
then
then I
Naruto-
was like, oh, I am watching a hentai. But like
Yeah.
a weird vampire hentai.
Yeah.
Yeah. How?
And then Naruto was like, I want to do that.
Oh, that was funny though. Yeah, Naruto is just staying in the cartoon form from the
I
previous
know.
episodes because he sticks out his tongue quietly to himself to try and see if he can hyperextend it like the grass Genin.
Which was really funny. Is it canon that the grass gaining are like
Hentai?
like creaturey?
Oh yeah, like they're
Okay.
supposed to be creepy
Okay.
and weird and
But like
all.
creatures? Because they're not like people.
Well, they're people with long tongues. Think about what about that guy from Kiss, Gene Simmons?
Okay, but I don't think Gene Simmons' tongue is that long.
Well,
He could
And
hold a
also,
knife
I don't
with
think
it.
he talks like a snake.
well, right, but this is the Naruto world, you know.
That's
so
fair.
it's just the
I was
Naruto.
just asking if it was canon.
Yeah, no, it is. They're
Well,
supposed
it's
to be
not,
weird.
isn't that what you just said?
What do you
That
mean?
they're not like other creatures, like they are human.
Oh no, yeah, they're human, but
Yeah.
they're
but
they're
it's
supposed to be
Naruto.
creepy and weird. Yeah. Sakura is the one that keeps it real, while Naruto is like sticking out his tongue and
my
whatever.
God.
She's like, "Oh no, this is creepy as fuck," cause it is.
Yeah, it was an intro.
Yeah, no kidding. Anko hypocritically notes the apparent quick tempers of the examinees and returns to the front gate to hand out consent forms. She reveals that all Genin must sign the forms, as the second part of the exam is likely to kill many of them, prompting trepidatious murmurs throughout the crowd.
Ooh, good word.
Trepidatious?
Yeah.
Sure. Didn't know any other way to say it. But yeah, imagine being told that a test is probably gonna kill you. That's awful.
Yeah, no, that's fucked.
terrifying.
Yeah. Because
Yeah,
that's like, the thing is that, like, you either win or you don't.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
now it's either you win or you die. It's
No,
a
that's
lot
the
more
thing.
serious
Yeah,
than
no,
that.
yeah, you only, like, you win or, like, you die.
Yeah,
But
seriously.
even then, if you don't die, you're really not winning.
Yeah, you're still not winning.
Like, you're like, oh, I just fucking, like,
The fact that you have to
did
take
a
a
bunch of
test
shit.
that either ways whether you live or die.
Yeah, I
You're in
know.
a fuck situation regardless, buddy.
Ugh. While the papers are circulated among the students, Anko explains the second test. First, she claims that the second section will test every survival skill they have, causing Shikamaru to sigh in his typical lackadaisical fashion. As he does always. He says, "What a drag." That's like his sort of catchphrase. And then later, once he gets cigarettes, it's "What a drag on this cigarette."
Dude, no, the way it was weird. This is when they were by the fence, right?
Yeah.
It was like Choji and Ino were talking, and then Shikamaru goes, something. What a drag.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it would cut so awkwardly.
Yeah, they just sort of cut to all the different Genin to show their little reactions to everything that Anko says.
Maybe he like maybe they included too much dialogue in the original.
Yeah.
And they cut it and they just threw in his catchphrase.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
hopefully people think this is just him, not a fucking robot.
Or like he just couldn't show up for that day, so they just threw in his catchphrase because they had it recorded so many times.
That's fun.
Yeah. Next, Anko describes the terrain of the forest. There are 44 entrance gates in the perimeter fence around the circular zone, and within its boundaries are rivers and several sections of dense wood. In the center of the arena, 10 kilometers from any gate, because it's a circle, obviously,
ooh,
is a
yeah.
locked tower. Next, Anko describes the parameters of the test itself. Within the forest, the children must partake in a no-holds-barred battle royale to obtain 2 scrolls. One marked heaven and one marked earth.
There's symbolism there. Something.
Well, I'm sure there is.
Yeah.
I just got really confused because I like blacked out in my sick brain and I was like, oh, am I watching the Hunger Games?
Yeah.
I was thinking it was
Badass.
like the Hunger Games too.
This
Yeah.
came out first, right?
Oh my god, yeah.
Yes, dude. Hunger Games ripped off Naruto.
Well, yeah, Hunger Games actually did rip off of this Japanese thing called, I think just Battle Royale.
Yeah, Battle Royale. That's
Yeah.
actually a fantastic movie.
And it all stems from that movie. I don't know how old the movie is.
Oh, it's fucking all 80s?
I don't even know. Like, I feel like it must be really old because so much stuff has ripped it off. But I also feel like it might be, like, weirdly recent. You know what I mean?
Oh, 2000.
Yeah, see? That's what I'm saying.
Holy shit. Dude, there's a sequel actually. Have you seen
It's a
it?
Battle Royale?
Yeah.
Is it called Fortnite?
Shut the fuck up. No, it's like Battle Royale 2. Dude, it's like ass.
Oh, yeah.
It sucks.
Well, that kind of makes sense. Usually if they make a sequel to, like, an iconic movie, it's kind of ass.
No,
you know what
but
I'm
dude,
saying?
like Japanese movies and like Asian films in general from that era are
Yeah.
There's like Old Boy was fucking great.
Oh,
Ichi
yeah,
the Killer,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
those like fucking like clown ass.
And it's crazy how
shows.
much shit, like, those movies inspired. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude, no, they've
Yeah, for
dude,
sure.
Fortnite.
Well, sure.
Like we have Fortnite now
Yeah.
because of that.
But also, like one of my favorite movies ever is Black Swan with Natalie Portman.
Word.
Did I know that?
Maybe it's
feel like I did.
it's sort of like a ballet movie, and I had no idea. It's inspired by Millennium Actress, which is an anime
Oh,
movie.
that movie's great.
Yeah, no, it's crazy good, but I just had no idea. You know what I mean?
Dude, life update. I don't know. I feel like just telling you guys
Sure.
right now. I have an event tomorrow, and we're leaving at 6. I have class till 6:10. So I emailed my teacher, and I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna leave at 5:50 tomorrow for an event that I really need to go to. And it wasn't like I was asking for her grace. I was like, I'm gonna go. I'm letting you know. And I poured my heart and soul into this fucking essay that I wrote.
Did she respond with K?
No, she said, "Hey, Raj, not a problem."
All right, well.
I just liked that was it. I kind of want more.
Yeah.
That's just all I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I see what you mean. But hey, at least it's good news. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Yeah, just a little life update for Raj. Raj goes to an event tomorrow.
There you go. Event
Ooh.
day. You can listen to the Patreon episode on the road.
Dude, I'm gonna put it on the aux. I'm like, guys, there's this fire ass track, but there's like a spoken word intro. I'll let you know when the song starts.
It's an hour and 20-minute long intro, but I promise it's fire as shit once it hits.
People think it's the song when we have our little Kyo sound like, oh, here's a song part.
You're gonna be there by the time it ends.
It's like, wait for the drop, wait for the drop, wait for the drop. After like every sentence. With 26 teams remaining, Anko reveals that 13 will be given the Heaven Scroll and 13 will be given an Earth Scroll. To pass the test, a squad must obtain both and subsequently deliver them to that central tower. Sakura points out that this necessitates the disqualification of at least half of the remaining squads, which Anko flippantly acknowledges before continuing, impressing a time limit of 5 days on the contenders.
So many days.
Well, yeah, okay. 5 days is a long-ass time to take a test.
That's true.
Don't you think?
Oh,
And also, they have to find their own food, and they have
Yeah.
I think long is kind of like under.
to live.
Yeah, 5
Yeah,
days.
That is like, dude, like 2 hours sucks.
I know, seriously.
Yeah, like I like test. Well, like when you said like your what was it? Physics professor was like test's gonna be like an hour and a half long.
Yeah.
Cringe. I my spine shattered.
Oh my god, imagine walking into a class that you didn't expect to take a test in, and the professor was like, alright, it's gonna be 5 days long.
Oh my god, that would
It's
suck.
like an AP exam times 10.
Yeah, and at least half of you are gonna die.
So an AP exam times 10.
Well, times 11, maybe.
True.
Yeah. Or AP Calc times 8. While several wonder how they'll survive that long, Anko notes that the forest is full of, like you said, animals to eat, though Kabuto counters that there are also animals and plants that could kill or eat the ninja just as easily.
Man, this guy just radiates evil.
Kabuto?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, he definitely seems weird.
He's shifty.
It's those weird blank cards. Like, what does he have on those?
Bro, the way he pushes up his glasses.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, only like absolute katana wielders would say that.
It's
in real
true.
life.
Yeah, no, Kabuto, he does. He radiates a weird
chaotic
energy. Yeah, and also he's way older than the rest of them,
Oh,
which is a little
definitely.
weird.
I mean, just in general, imagining like an actual high school having a super senior times like what was it
Like four, yeah.
That's just fucked.
I know, it would be so awkward.
It's that okay?
Yeah.
What's that Adam Sandler movie where he's like?
Oh, is it? No.
Is
fuck.
it Billy Madison?
No, it's not. Isn't that a golf movie?
Maybe.
Big Daddy? No, that's something else.
What?
That is an Adam Sandler movie,
no.
dude.
It is.
No, but like.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
Dude,
about.
my
though.
favorite fucking that's like one of my favorite things he's ever done because like he's around the lunch table
Yeah.
and he's big as fuck and they're all talking about games and shit and he goes like, y'all heard of the fucking Sega Genesis? I got Mortal Kombat. They got blood, bitch. It's like what the fuck?
Imagine Adam Sandler in the Chunin Exams.
King shit, bro.
It's me, Adam Sandwow. No, that's the voice he does, dude. It's
He
awful.
does that shit in fucking Little Nicky so.
Yeah,
Dude.
Lil Nicky, that's the one.
Dude, watching Little Nicky like out of your mind is the scariest experience. It's just like, who greenlit this shit?
I know, seriously.
Like, I love you, Adam, but like you guys were off fucking angel
Apparently,
dust.
like, okay, obviously his movies aren't great, right? But apparently he's like the nicest guy in Hollywood.
That's my goal, dude. Like for
Yeah,
real,
really.
making like just mediocre cult following trash, but
Yeah.
like you're just known as the nicest guy
Well,
ever.
because he just makes the movies so he can go on vacation with his friends.
Which is awesome. Dude, that's my one claim to fame with where I'm from. I'm from Queens, and my one claim to fame is the King of Queens show with
A
fucking-
classic, Kevin Hart.
Kev-
No, not Kevin Hart. Fucking Kevin James.
Yeah, Kevin James.
Yeah, yeah.
That shit. Him and fucking Adam Sandler, like the
Yeah.
weirdest duo. But I love
Honestly,
them.
so I had basic cable as a kid. So King of Queens
Always
was
on.
on.
Dude, that's
yeah,
exactly
it's on
it,
TBS
yeah.
Always
constantly.
on.
Dude, TBS either showed that shit fucking anything by Tyler Perry
Uh-huh.
and American Dad.
Oh,
Those.
wow.
Oh, wait,
True.
fucking Big Bang Theory.
That's like an incredible claim to fame. My claim to fame is Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon's from where you're from?
You can say it. He went to SU.
Oh.
That is insane.
I had no idea.
Yeah. Everybody's like, SU, what does that mean?
Syracuse
I don't
University.
really have an actual claim to fame. There's a bunch of the jazz guys here who say that I'm Wynton Marsalis' daughter because there's some big jazz musician named Wynton Marsalis that grew up in Eastchester. But other than
That's a
that,
pretty
nothing.
big claim to fame.
Is it really? I don't know who that is.
No, yeah. he's-
Actually, I believe I don't know. Have you guys seen Stranger Things?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe Jim Hop, whoever plays that guy.
Oh,
He lives in our town.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Him.
That's
Oh,
fine.
and the dude from Everybody Hates Chris. He also grew up.
Let's get him on the friggin' podcast.
No, but I think wasn't he on The Walking Dead? I think he's too famous for us.
He
now.
was on The Walking Dead.
Yeah, he's like too famous.
If
for
we
us
could
now.
get Miley Flanagan on the podcast.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
She was on
Everybody hates-
Lab Rats, bro.
That's true. Wait.
What?
Wasn't the guy that was on Everybody Hates Chris, I think his brother was in Lab Rats.
So
Oh,
that's
shit.
like 2 degrees of connection. We could absolutely
Want
get
to hit a Miley?
Or-
Hey, do you know the Everybody Hates Chris guy? It might be a long.
Do you know
show,
Everybody Hates Chris Guys' brother? Can you hit him up to hit up his brother to hit us up?
This also could just not be fact because
Yeah.
my brain's off.
Oh yeah, no, dude, I don't have thoughts again. I just say things.
Yeah.
I
Well,
just say words.
I love a good bit of
Words are
fiction,
good.
whether or not it's fact.
If it was fact, it wouldn't be fiction.
well, sure.
That's non-fiction is not fun.
I mean, it could
Cosign.
be a fictional fact, like a fact in a fictional land. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, that's
Like,
like
for example, the fact that the Genin absorbed the reality that fewer than half of the teams are positioned to pass, with several of them likely to die, like we've said.
Yeah.
Furthermore, they'll have no time to rest, constantly forced to be on guard.
fact.
Yes, that is a fact. I mean, it's a fictional fact. You see what I'm saying?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Actually
Yeah.
proved your point.
See?
And got us back to the summary.
Exactly.
Did it? I'm
Yeah,
confused.
fictional fact. Facts in fictional worlds.
Uh,
Like the fact that the test is extremely difficult, which Anko admits, as she's certain that some won't be up to the challenge and warns them that they can't quit mid-test. That's a fictional fact.
Fictional
They can't quit
fact.
mid-test.
I like
You know what
these
I'm saying?
transitions. He's like Window
Yeah.
Movie Maker, but in real life.
Oh no.
Yes, these transitions are the equivalent of a star wipe in my voice.
Dude, my
Oh,
favorite was just
no,
the sliding to the left fucking transition. It's just boop.
What about the one that goes, however, she knows something?
That's the one where it opens another window and inside, like it just becomes the screen.
No, but really, I do love like mid-2000s graphic transitions.
Oh, that's the wave.
But seriously, Anko does know that there are some ways to get disqualified. First, a team is disqualified if all 3 members can't deliver both scrolls to the tower within the allotted 5 days. Obviously, that's the goal.
Which I feel like, yeah, is the easiest thing.
Right, yeah.
Just like, don't die.
Keep in mind, all these kids are dumb. Really, really dumb.
True.
Naturally, this means, like you said, that their death or incapacitation, even of one team member, also disqualifies the entire squad. Additionally, the Genin are forbidden from opening their scrolls until they reach the tower, a secondary, like, sub-test of integrity that Anko stresses must not be broken under any circumstances.
And then Naruto tried to pull the loophole card. But what if it falls and then it rolls open and then we read it?
Yeah, because you know that he would just open it immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To
And then
find
be
out
like,
what's
Which
what?
means that definitely something's gonna happen. Like, that's definitely foreshadowing.
Oh,
right?
that
Like,
somebody's-
I don't.
I think all of
Like-
it is foreshadowing. I think the
course.
entire episode was them being like, this is gonna happen.
Yeah, well,
Watch.
they said that
Yes.
kids were gonna die enough times in the fucking first 5 minutes that I think that was tons of foreshadowing.
And then-
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And plus the bird with the snake, and
Yes.
Yeah.
this thing.
Yeah, I feel like someone's definitely gonna
Ooh.
read the scroll.
Oh, what if maybe the bird with the snake is fun foreshadowing?
What do you mean?
Because there's the weird snake creature lady with the tongue.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there's the guy with the crow. That's a bird.
Oh,
Snake
yeah.
Who knows?
That's true. I did not think of that at all. Good. At the very least, good word association. Whether or not the foreshadowing plays off.
What did Chris Angel used to say? Mind freak.
Oh yeah,
That shit.
a little bit of mind freak
I
over
mean-
here. Anko points the teams to a booth where they can hand in their consent forms in return for their scrolls, assigned confidentially, of course, after which they'll be led to one of the 44 gates. Releasing them to comply with these instructions, Anko tells them not to die, and then it cuts to all of their all of the ones whose, like, names we know, it cuts to all of their faces to show their, like, shocked reaction, you know?
It was just funny. Like, I don't know, words are hard right now.
Mm-hmm, sure.
But, like, it felt very, like, The Office.
Oh, yeah, to cut away to their faces?
Yes.
Sure, I see that. You should probably lean a little closer to the mic.
Yeah.
Okay.
For
Okay,
fixing
what
technical
to say.
issues, Katie, I'm sorry for mansplaining right here. I'm just like all up on your shit. There we go.
Oh,
That's
manspreading.
manspreading, not mansplaining. I think
Oh.
I explained something to me. I was like, what are you
I'm explaining to
mansplaining?
you as a man I was wrong. I'm sorry.
Well, no, I like that Katie had to step in and
Mansplain.
mansplain
was.
manspreading.
Oh.
That's pretty funny. The Genin split up to read through their waivers, and Anko observes the energy change as the kids start to comprehend just what the second test entails. Ino and her team approach Sakura just to mock her. Ino
Dude,
just
I hated this.
Yeah, because Ino
Yeah.
just loves to mock Sakura.
No,
Yeah.
but even like, it just was such a stupid scene. It's just annoying.
Oh yeah, because it only exists as like
Just to piss everyone off.
yeah, that's true.
Everyone sucked there.
Although Sakura does manage to give it as good as she gets. Like, Ino comes over and she's like, "What's up, billboard brow?" And Sakura's like, "What's up, ugly bitch?"
But that line specifically, billboard brow. Do they
Yeah.
have billboards in that world?
Oh yeah, I guess
what
they
the fuck
must.
are they advertising?
Ramen,
Ramen.
kunai.
That's such a weird like,
Ramen.
retro future like thing.
Yeah.
That's true.
Because in the place where like in the time where it should exist, billboards are really like a thing. You'd advertise like smoke signal shit.
But there's
Like up there,
there's shit like that all over the show, you know, where it's like a weird combo of future and past.
Just imagine like
Smoke signals instead
and
of
advertising, bro. Just like you see smoke in the air, it's like, oh, that ramen shop must slap. God damn.
Like 3 puffs and you're like, this ramen shop, is it good or not? And then a 4th puff and you're like, oh shit, it's fire.
Oh shit, it's fire. You see fire trucks driving by. Oh shit, it's fire.
But yeah, Ino and Sakura argue for a little, and it gets so heated that Shikamaru and Choji, who came up with Ino, are like petrified, and they're just thankful that they're not in the little argument.
Yeah.
Naruto approaches Hinata, who offers him.
It was so cute. I don't know what she was giving him, but it was like the cute little box and she was just...
Yeah, I think it was like some sort of healing thing because it was
Yeah.
for the cut on his cheek.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Dude.
wait,
Did
did
you
we
not
know
catch
that?
it? Yes.
I didn't catch
I
that.
don't know if they said it. But...
I thought she said Naruto and like had a thing.
Here you go.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And he was like,
I didn't
I
realize
don't
it was
need
for that. I thought it was just also, here you go. And
No.
she just didn't hear, here
I
you
see
go,
your
and he just
cut.
ran
Also,
away.
here's a thing.
Yeah, I thought she had a
Um,
little present for him.
Oh.
I
I
was
do
like,
feel
"Aw."
for everyone. Hinata is like, that's so sad.
Yeah.
That like hurt.
Yeah,
It really
seriously.
does.
Because she offers him this healing salve of some kind, and he just walks away.
Just
Not
go.
because, like, he doesn't hear it and then be like, oh no, bitch, like, I don't want it. He just does not make the connection.
Yeah. You're just
Yeah.
like, huh? Strange. Gotta go.
Yeah. It is sad. It is sad.
I'm a head out, head
She's
ass.
so cute.
Groups file into the booth to turn in their papers, and Team 7 receives a Heaven Scroll before traveling to Gate 12 to wait for the exams to start. There, Naruto and Sakura hype themselves up, featuring the return of Inner Sakura, which I think is the
So-
first time you guys have seen that?
No.
No, they had it in the other ones?
What was she in? She was in, I think, our first episodes that we watched.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense, considering what those episodes were, you know?
Yeah.
But
The
yeah,
bullying.
it's
Yeah, I
it's
think so.
it's that weird little black and white version of Sakura who like is in her mind kind of. But it's been happening since like the first time Sakura was introduced. So it's definitely like
A thing.
a choice that they make, yeah. And Sasuke is silent, but he like focuses, you know, and he gets all determined.
Yes.
Hinata's group begins at Gate 16 with Kiba hyping up the crew and kind of calling out Hinata. He's like, you better be strong for this, which is, I don't know, man, just disrespectful of Hinata. She just can't catch a break, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. She's just so
You
cute.
really
I
love
just really
Hinata?
like her.
I love that. I think that's
Yeah,
great.
Hinata's great.
Like, in the past, when, like, if I show this show to someone, nobody has ever connected with Hinata. That's crazy.
That's
No,
weird.
Like, incredible. Just
She's so
adorable.
cute.
Yeah, no,
So pure.
I'm glad.
I
Like
know.
that's excellent. At gate 27, Shikamaru plans to target Naruto's group because he's pretty sure that it's going to be the weakest. And Choji takes stock of his snacks for the 5 days in the forest.
This kid is going to be the death of me.
To be fair, though, this is the first time, 5 days in the forest, you actually would want to have snacks.
I mean, yes, but I would have, like, snacks that would benefit me, not a bag of chips and fucking strawberry cream cake.
Oh,
No, see,
Yeah.
I'm on Choji's side here. I think if it came down to it, I don't care about nutrition.
You
I'll
would
buy
just,
some
have
Lay's.
endless packets of fruit snacks.
Honestly,
Well-
I could buy. But like, okay, but even then, it's not even like the fact that having snacks is the problem. It's the fact that Choji's bringing snacks.
Yeah,
up.
that's true.
Because he's like, oh, the last 5 days, they're gone. Like the
Yeah,
second
they're
you
going
like
to be
get
gone as
them.
soon as he gets inside.
They're probably
yeah.
done already. Like,
At gate 20, that sound ninja trio allude to mysterious orders they can now carry out. And at gate 38, Kabuto and those two older Leaf Genin with their faces entirely covered with
Yeah.
masks, they just sort of smile in
I
anticipation.
hate
they're,
it.
they're like grass ninja.
Yeah,
yeah.
Well, no, this is just Kabuto over at one of the gates.
Oh, Kabuto.
It does
right.
not help with his fucking image that he's with two masked, just big, muscly dudes.
Dude, it's literally an entourage of evil goons. It's like Bowser and his kids.
Yeah, man. I mean, he was nice to them when he showed up, but, like, he's got to work on his fucking image, man.
No, it's like nice, but in the same way that they you ever watch one of those like video essays where they're like, oh, Ross from Friends is actually a psycho manipulative
Yeah,
demon.
yeah.
It's like shit like that. Like he pulled up and he's cool, but he's crazy.
I think it
Yeah.
is largely in the way that he pushes up his glasses. I think that you were right about that.
It's like he can say anything. He says, I just saved 6 kids from drowning and I stopped a building from blowing up, and then he'll
And
go.
then, but you push up the
Push
glasses.
it up, and then
yeah.
you're like, oh,
Yeah.
you tried to drown 6 kids and blow the building and decided not to.
At gate 6, Kankuro fearfully considers that Gaara may turn on him and kill him instead of an enemy. Which I don't think he would do in the forest because then they would fail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it does tell us a little bit about, like, Gaara's character.
That's true.
You know?
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Wait, can you refresh the rules when we're talking about like the Force of Death?
Oh, yeah. Basically, your whole team needs to have both scrolls.
Yeah.
And all 3 of you need to make it to that tower in the center.
Oh, okay.
And you can't open the scrolls until then.
Can you kill each other?
Yeah, you
Okay.
can, but your whole team has to survive.
Oh, word. Okay.
Yeah, no, anyone can die, man.
Word.
It's
It is
just,
the Force of Death.
yeah, but your squad has to stay alive. Even if one person dies and you're DQ'd.
Dude, it's so crazy. Imagine it, because the world of Naruto, they besides Team 7, who
Right.
had to do like a A-rank mission, these dudes are just like weeding.
Yeah,
and
most
doing
of these
stuff.
kids, the hardest thing they would have done is like walk dogs near a minefield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So besides Team 7, like walking up and going, there was a forest of death here
Yeah.
the whole time.
Well, I bet the older Chunin, like those weird grass ninja, maybe the
Totally.
sound guys.
Definitely Kabuto and shit.
Yeah, and we know Gaara's done a B rank, but yeah, most of them, this is the first like violence that they've ever had to face,
What's
which
a
is
B rank? If Zappa's is an A rank, is B rank just like the 2 chain
the
guys?
claw guys. Yeah, exactly.
Those dudes got bodied by Sasuke.
Yeah, they really
So
did.
funny.
At gate 15, we see those creepy grass ninja again, and they plot to take out one of the rookie teams. And finally, at gate 41, Rock Lee is burning up with passionate enthusiasm.
My king.
I know, and Tenten and Neji prepare for the brutal survival exercise up ahead. Unlocking the gates around the perimeter, Anko and her fellow proctors announce the initiation of the second part of the Chunin Exams, and the 26 teams rocket forth into the Forest of Death.
I don't think I've ever in any of the episodes seen Naruto running. And
Oh
I saw
yeah.
it.
Well, actually, this is the first
it,
time
like-
that they Naruto run at all. Because in previous episodes, they like travel through trees and they
Yeah.
frog hop.
It was so incredible.
But yeah, in this they really whole ass lean forward, throw their hands behind their
Yeah.
back.
My life was complete.
They
in
were
that
moving
moment.
fast. It was
Yeah.
Gosh.
Well, I mean, in the world of Naruto, you got a Naruto run,
exactly.
frankly. As they travel, the Grass Ninja discuss their ulterior motive. They plan to attack a specific rookie team, but we don't know who yet. Hinata uses her Byakugan to search for the scroll that her team doesn't have. That's that thing that Neji used during the written exam to see through a student to copy his answers. So presumably Hinata would be able to see through like a lot of the woods using hers.
Dude,
Oh.
it's his clan things. That's like Gekko
Keki,
shit.
yeah, Keki Genkai.
Dude,
yeah,
I think Byakugan is like the smoothest one to say.
Yeah.
The other one is like fucking Sharingan.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
one's
No,
Byakugan.
honestly, Byakugan. That
Yeah,
that
it
shit
it
flows,
rolls off
man.
the tongue. It's
Yeah.
nice.
Lee hurries his team along, wanting to hold the offensive advantage over any potential threats, and those sound ninja are reminded by their little furry man leader to stay focused on their secret target. Team 10 attempts to move... Oh, Team 10 is Shikamaru, Choji, and who else? Ino. And they attempt to move stealthily through the forest, but Choji is already hungry, and he deadass pops a squat
It's
to
so
munch
funny.
on potato chips. Yeah, and Shikamaru and Ino are naturally pissed off, because wouldn't you be?
Yeah, no.
I was.
Yeah, and they're trying to be quiet, and he's so fucking loud about it. He can't even eat quietly. Sensing danger, they leap into a nearby bush, with Shikamaru dragging Choji by the scarf. 3 unfamiliar genin appear, but luckily they don't notice Choji's crumbs. But there are crumbs. There's like chips and shit all over the
Yes.
forest floor.
Because he just can't chew with his mouth closed.
I know, so not only is he stopping to eat potato chips, he also isn't even eating all of them. He's just letting them fall to the floor like motherfucking Cookie Monster.
Dead ass.
Still, Shikamaru laments having to deal with this kind of bullshit for 5 whole days.
So many days of just...
Yeah. Well, imagine being with Choji and Ino for 5 days straight.
Oh my
I don't think I could do that.
Yeah, that would be a nightmare.
Yeah.
Another unfamiliar team of genin spy on teammate from afar.
Dude, these are like fucking
Like the background character ass looking.
dead ass just background
Yeah,
characters.
yeah.
Like they cut you out of wood and threw you here.
But they're spying on teammate, which is Hinata's team. But Akamaru and Kiba are able to smell them. The 3 newcomers are sure they'll get the drop on the Leaf Ninja, but Shino has utilized leeches native to the forest to lay a trap, and the parasites rain down on their enemies.
This is terrifying.
I
Yeah.
was so scared.
That was
Dude,
so
it
scary.
got like silent. All you see is Shino just walk, and then he just like you see his just dead stare through his glasses. It is-
Yeah.
fuck, that guy is creepy.
And the leeches just sort of appear
Oh,
Yeah.
on their
oh,
neck.
the
and
big
the guy-
fucking
the guy, like,
reveal.
Yeah,
I
it's
hated
so
it.
nasty. And the 3 genin think that they've escaped, but Kiba springs a trap, and they're all like pulled up into a net.
Scooby-Doo head ass.
Scooby-Doo head ass, exactly. And Kiba reveals that with the leeches sucking them, they're gonna be dead in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
The leeches
Can you
suck.
imagine?
Which actually,
Looks sick.
interesting little fun fact, that makes them the first of the good guys to ever kill someone, right?
Yeah. Ooh. Well, I mean,
like Mizuki, kind of. That's that TA that
No,
Naruto beat up in
he
the
got
first
no.
episode.
He just got his ass beat.
Yeah, but we don't actually know what
Um,
happened to him.
But Zabuza and Haku.
Yeah, but Zabuza got killed by all those guys that Gato brought to the
Kakashi
bridge.
killed
Haku.
Haku.
But Kakashi's
That-
grown up. I'm
yeah,
saying, like,
he's
of
a-
the kids,
Yeah, I think
these guys are the
yeah.
first ones we've ever seen murder anyone.
You're right. Yeah. Oh fuck.
Yeah, which is, who would have thought it would
Oh, I
be
like that.
I mean, was it murder or like?
I mean, necessary, sure, maybe.
No. I'm not saying like was it murder or whatever. Fuck. Like,
Oh,
did
yeah.
they die?
Oh, well,
There's an
It's,
net
like,
full
heavily
of
but
implied.
the
leeches.
leeches are on
leeches
them.
kill them in
I
5
know,
minutes.
like-
So I assume they don't escape in 5 minutes.
They're like they're covered in kunai and shit. They just like cut them
Maybe, but I don't
That's
think that because immediately after that, their screams like echo all throughout the woods.
That maybe they just watch them die. That's hardcore.
Yeah,
That's
no,
fun.
that's what I'm saying.
Okay,
man.
that
I
is
just assume
insane.
that they die. Yeah.
Yeah.
R.I.P. The implication.
Yeah, seriously. And Anko, even outside of the training facility, she like smiles.
You weirdo.
I know, she's weird
Yeah.
as fuck. She just
That's
wants to see
creepy.
kids die.
Yeah.
And Sakura is like noticeably unsettled by the sound. While we're with Team 7, Naruto just whips his dick right out.
Right out.
Yeah, and starts to piss on a tree. Like, I get it, when you have to go, but like, bro, you can't just be whipping your dick out all over
Like
the
this,
place.
That was so disrespectful of him.
Yeah, Sakura punches him, demanding that he find somewhere more private to urinate. When he returns, Naruto...
Find a bush or something.
Yeah, but he goes, man, I had to pee so bad, I could almost write my whole name.
Bro, this coming scene right here.
That got even better when you find out like what's.
Oh yeah, I know, because it was, I mean, it doesn't matter, it was an imposter, Naruto.
Yeah. And they were just, that was the thing that they thought to say that would be like what Naruto would say, which is incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, for as shoddy as their impostering work turns out to be, they did a
That's
pretty
a
good
good
job.
line.
They started
Yeah.
off strong.
Yeah.
But this scene right here is like, it's the scene that like woke me up.
Oh, yeah.
Hardcore, because Sakura starts talking to him or whatever.
Yeah.
And then if you want to get into
Oh, right. Well, because before this, it's all exposition.
Yeah.
And then Naruto returns. He says, "Oh, I could almost write my whole name." And before, like, Sakura's getting ready to be like, "You nasty ass motherfucker! Why would you say that to me?" Sasuke punches him in the face and
That
like
shit.
leaps forward with a
I was-
barrage of melee attacks. Yeah.
I was thinking that like somehow, I was thinking that Sasuke was the imposter before.
Yeah,
I was thinking
okay.
that Naruto was
So
the
did I.
imposter. That like they were just like
Well,
somebody
yeah.
pretended to be transformed into Sasuke and then was just like attacking from within.
I think it
like-
would have made more sense because he attacked first.
I just thought he was so fucking angry.
That Naruto's being nasty.
No. Just like he went to go pee and he started yelling. I could spell my own name, and
Yeah.
he just got so fucking fed up with him. And then because this is how like Shikamaru had to deal with Choji. He's like
Yeah, yeah.
5 days of this. That's how Sasuke expresses
Because of
5
Naruto,
days of
yeah.
this.
Oh my God.
Fuck,
Yeah.
just beat the shit.
Well, while Sasuke is beating the shit out of Naruto protests, and Sakura confused protests too. But Sasuke just like runs forward with a motherfucking kunai. He does not stop.
He is going crazy.
Yeah, Naruto manages to fight him off with his own kunai, but Sasuke just demands to know where the real Naruto is. Obviously, I mean...
What is this fucking mystery show? This
Yeah, I
is
know.
dead ass Scooby-Doo, bro.
Well, I mean, Naruto insists that he is the real Naruto, but Sasuke points out, and I straight up did not notice
No
this.
shame.
Neither did I.
Yeah, so I would have been...
I feel like it all happened really fast, so we
We would've all died.
True, but I feel like I would be an early death in the Forest of Death. Because Sasuke reveals that the cut on Naruto's cheek has vanished, and his shuriken holster, that little black stripe that's on his leg, is on the left leg, but Naruto, for real, is right-handed.
That one I
That's
would not have
crazy.
noticed. I probably would have noticed the cut, but like
I know, but of all the things to notice, that should be the one that you do, you know?
I
Motherfuckers
guess.
are always tricking you with what hands they use.
What?
I don't know, like I feel like I've heard a detective story before where it's like,
Oh,
this is the
yeah.
this is the wrong scissors for your hand or something, you know?
yes.
Yeah.
I feel like your dominant
That's
hand
true.
is a common way to get busted. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
even though for most people it's just all right-handed. So
Right,
you could
but-
just assume that and probably be safe.
Well, yeah, but so even more egregious mistake on the part of the imposter
Exactly.
ninja.
If
Yeah.
you're left-handed and you're trying to impersonate someone, switch your hands if you don't know which hand,
Yeah,
because it's more
seriously.
likely you're right.
Yeah.
Good point. Well, the enemy ninja didn't. He's kind of dumb. And busted, he undoes the transformation jutsu, revealing himself to be a Rain Village ninja with a gas mask.
That shit was creepy.
I
It
know,
was
yeah,
so
he's got a creepy
creepy.
design.
Yeah.
He demands that Sasuke hand over his team scroll. Refusing to give up so easily, even Sakura draws a little kunai, and the two prepare for battle together as the enemy charges forth. And that's the end of episode 27.
That's a great
Crazy.
ending.
Yeah, I know. It's very like action, action, action. Oh boy, what are we gonna get into next?
Yeah.
I love
Which
that.
was so different from everything else we've seen thus far.
Yeah.
Well, it's like Raj said, when Naruto comes back from his pee break, there's like a hard tonal shift in the episode.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is insane.
Episode 28, taking no breaks, Sasuke leaps into the air and unleashes his Phoenix Flower Jutsu, which rains fireballs down at the enemy, who vaults up into the air to reach Sasuke.
None of the fucking Storm 3 Sasuke's have that move.
I know!
Like, where is he pulling this shit?
And he had it in one of the PS2 games.
Yeah,
so-
like Clash of Ninja.
Fucking, it's a cool move. The two clash in the air for a moment before repelling, and Sasuke throws his kunai at a tied-up Naruto nearby during his descent, which sunders the rope around him and frees him. The Rain Ninja warns Sasuke to keep his mind in the fight, throwing a paper bomb at him, which knocks him to the ground. And
Is
then,
that a thing we've seen before?
Paper
A
bombs?
Paper bomb? Yeah.
have we seen this before?
Not in the show, but if you've watched us play the games,
Well,
game, you
that's
know.
not what
What?
they're talking about.
The paper bomb that you like throw
Yeah,
those shits.
no. But have we seen it at all in the show?
Yeah, not in the show. Not
That's
at all.
crazy.
Yeah, 'cause
Zabuza and
there's-
Haku didn't bust it out once?
No, because these are like ninja tools. Like Zabuza and
Yeah.
Haku used like a bunny rabbit.
That's
and-
true, that's true.
So
And,
how,
like,
so it's just a
children.
bomb. That's
Yeah,
a piece of paper.
I think it's
what-
like, you know how Kabuto put chakra in those cards and it like
Yeah.
made them appear? I
Uh-huh.
think you can put like seals and chakra and all sorts of stuff in scrolls and in this and in that and the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Like
yeah,
how,
you need scrolls to do stuff.
you like how Kakashi summoned those dogs out of that scroll?
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I guess it's like that. You just put energy into the seal. That's all.
That makes
the-
sense.
Didn't you do
Yeah.
that? When did you do that? That was during the Zabuza fight.
Yeah.
So they know about that?
Yeah, well, they're all caught up.
Oh, right.
Yeah, yeah.
I wasn't there for the Patreon episode. I mean, I was, but not mentally.
Oh, right.
So if you wanted to see where I was at that time, pay $5. So, I don't know if you guys noticed it, but you know how the last episode ended? Mm-hmm. It's the same scene as the intro of this episode, but it's completely different.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because of the different animation teams.
Yep.
Yeah. So that shit is awesome because they do the same shit, but like in a completely different order. It takes the whole thing.
They must have all gotten the script and then animated it separately because
it's so funny.
Yeah. Have we talked about that before?
No.
How it's because the show is weekly. They ship all the episodes off to different teams.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's why the quality is so incredibly varied.
Yeah.
And like you never know if it's gonna look like a show or like a 3-year-old's drawing on a fridge. Which it definitely does sometimes.
Chibi, Ino, and Sakura.
Yeah, seriously. Wasting no time, the enemy lunges for Sasuke, but Naruto, joining the fray, sends his own knife hurtling towards the villain, forcing him to spring back. Activating the Sharingan, Sasuke focuses the chakra in his foot and uses it to redirect Naruto's kunai towards their opponent. That's the thing that ties into the... Yeah. Which was a baller-ass move, too. Mm-hmm. It was like some Matrix shit. Though the weapon misses, Sasuke immediately follows its trajectory. He like leaps into the air after it and stabs the villain with a second kunai.
Yeah. That was crazy. He stabbed someone.
And not only does he stab it, blood starts just raining down.
And then right after, we see Sakura.
Yeah.
And he's like, you gotta fucking move. And it emphasizes your point, because you were like, oh, even she pulled out a kunai. She did fucking nothing still.
Well, true.
And then so he's screaming at her, and he's like, you gotta move, and then dude, I felt so bad for the dude attacking them, because he was like, oh, no one's here, I should have came with someone.
I know.
He's like crying and running
because
away.
Sasuke, and you would assume that he would come with his team, but no, he in fact just came alone.
That is so fucking sad.
To be fair though, you size up Naruto's team from a distance, you
could take him.
Yeah, you could take him. You don't know that Sasuke's got the motherfucking
You don't know his last name.
Yeah, exactly. And you would never expect an Uchiha, because they're all dead.
Oh no.
Yes. After revealing that he did in fact come alone, the Rain Ninja manages to separate from Sasuke and retreat deep into the woods.
That was absolutely hilarious.
Oh yeah, when he just sort of like, hops away.
Because the dialogue, it's the same shit with fucking Shikamaru, where he's speaking and then he goes, what a drag. He goes, oh, I gotta go. I didn't want to go with me. Like,
well, when you gotta move past the fight, you gotta move past the fight.
You gotta go.
Team 7 regroups, sitting together to plan a way to tell if they are who they say they are, or if they're just an enemy using a transformation jutsu. We see, though, a listening device nearby in the ground. It's like a little shoot of bamboo sticking up out of the dirt.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah. They have one. There's like one shot dedicated to it, But it's like it is. Yeah, it's only
my brain
one.
didn't even register. That's
as a listening device.
I was like, this is a weird angle.
Weird bamboo to focus on.
They were doing still photos and shit again. I was like, all right.
Sasuke devises a password system where they must ask, when does a ninja strike, if unsure of someone's identity, and the person in question must respond, a ninja waits until the time is right, when the enemy sleeps and drops his guard, when his weapons lie forgotten in the stillness of the night, that is the moment for a ninja to strike.
Okay, you Edgar Allan Poe neck ass.
Yeah, long as fuck for a password. I mean, Naruto even calls it out, and I love it. He goes, I thought it was going to be a password, not a passphrase. Oh, yeah, phrase or whatever.
No, speech.
That's so good.
That is so fucking
fantastic.
funny.
By the way, excellent. I mean, he's fucking right. Like, I couldn't remember that shit. Yeah. Sakura immediately is like, oh, I've got it memorized, Sasuke, but... no way in hell was Naruto going to be able to remember that. Because
I feel on that.
Yeah, I remember, I think when I was a kid and I watched this, I tried to memorize it, and no way, man.
Yeah, I think every kid tries to memorize at least one thing. I tried to memorize the Green Lantern Oath when I was a kid.
Oh, that's pretty baller.
That shit was so hardcore. I'd be like crying. I'm like, darkest day, bright.
But Yeah, I always try and do that along with characters if there's something crazy that they're asked to do. Like, in movies when they're holding their breath, like if they go underwater, I always hold my breath.
I think that's a different thing, Liam.
No, it's similar, you know, I'm trying to, like, figure
He's, like,
out...
checking it.
Yeah.
But,
you
like,
know?
If it's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, but in most times, like, memorizing something is possible, but holding your breath in movies is so exaggerated.
But that's what's so interesting to see, because some movies, it's like, all right, yeah, I could probably do that. And other ones, it's like, well, no, I would die if I didn't breathe right now.
Dude, that's the whole Saw scenario. If you ended up in a Saw, like, torture thing,
Oh, yeah,
could
yeah.
you get out?
That's exactly it. Except I don't want to, like, put my leg in a bear trap.
Yeah, no, I don't, it's
Like,
so
I'm okay.
interesting.
I'll go as far as holding my breath.
Yeah, I'll hold my breath. I won't put my fucking. It's the needle pit that gets me in Saw 2.
Oh,
that
gosh.
shit like fucked me up as a kid.
Yeah. Oh, God. Would I be able to get out of Saw? I don't think so.
No, I'd die instantly.
Yeah, blood makes me, like, squeamish.
Yeah, I'd be like, yeah, dude, you can set it off now.
Yeah.
I'll go.
Oh, wait, just kill you?
Yeah, I was like, alright.
I think the goal of the guy in Saw is not to kill you, it's to play
Well,
with
no,
you,
I'm saying
man.
I wouldn't be able to do it. I'd be like, this is too difficult, man. I'm
Oh,
not gonna
yeah.
cut my eye open.
Oh,
yeah.
man. Yeah, ugh, those movies are nasty. Sasuke nominates himself to carry the scroll when suddenly a powerful gust of wind, strong enough to literally tear up the floor of the forest, blows the group apart.
Which is this is weird because when it first hit Naruto,
Yeah.
I thought someone tranked him or something. Like,
Because he just, like, fell aside.
no, yeah, because like something hit him in like, and I think in like the neck area, because you see something fly by, and then he goes, "Oh, what the fuck was that?" Like he was drowsy,
Huh.
and then the wind came.
Interesting.
I totally didn't even catch that, bro.
I had to rewatch it 3
Yeah.
times. I was like, "Who the
Interesting.
fuck?"
I didn't notice
tranked
that
him?
either.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It was so weird.
The grass ninja trio stand a short distance away. They, like, somehow, some jutsu summoned that whirlwind. The long-tongued girl commands her teammates to fan out, demanding that she face Team 7 alone.
This is where the most bittersweet thing about having Hulu is when that character says, "I'll handle this alone." Before that sentence, it said in parentheses, "evilly." And I was like,
Oh, I thought she was gonna help them.
in one hand, I'm so glad that now like for people who can't hear the show, they'll go,
Yeah.
"Oh, right, evil."
Got it.
Do you think there are, like, tone-deaf people who need that kind of thing?
Oh, dude, definitely. People who are like just deaf in general can't go.
Well, sure. Well, no, I know, but she was standing there with her tongue all squirming around. Like, you can get that she's evil.
Well, she wouldn't judge them. They're like deaf. They've been judged all their
Katie,
life. They're like
put your
accepting.
tongue back in your mouth.
I know. This is, Katie, this is the third time that you've done that, and every time, I keep thinking that if I don't acknowledge, see, Katie's been sticking her tongue out like the tongue lady.
Can I see? I haven't seen
I
that.
can't do it.
Dude,
well.
Every time she just sticks her tongue out like this, I'm sticking my tongue out.
Yeah, and then looks around, like, for us to respond, and every time I'm like, okay, if I don't respond, maybe Katie will get that, like,
That's the first time I've noticed it.
I haven't seen it. Yeah.
it's a podcast,
I
Katie.
know.
You need to describe sticking your tongue out, not do
Like
it.
I just did.
You
You
just
gotta
made
word for word
fucking-
be like, I'm sticking my tongue out.
Yeah.
Liam's mid-summer and all you hear in the background is sticking my tongue out.
Yeah, but you'll also, yeah, it's just, I mean, it's better than just sticking it out. No
Well, I
one
was
can
more
see.
looking at myself.
Oh,
the mirror.
The dangers of the goddamn mirrors.
It's really not mirrors. It's really windows.
It's really a window.
Yeah, but
They're all mirrors.
But it's dark out,
But
so it's
it's-
reflective.
question,
kind
what is
of.
the definition of a mirror? I don't know.
Sand.
Somebody look it up.
Yeah.
I'll
What?
look it up.
They are made from sand.
Oh yeah, they actually
Doesn't
are
say
made from
that.
sand.
Definition of a mirror.
But
You
Made
can't
from
make a mirror
sand.
without sand.
they are made from sand, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's so weird we can take sand and make glass.
Yeah,
That's
dude, I don't
crazy.
understand glass making at all.
I
It's
love it.
such a
It's so
fucking-
beautiful.
Do you know how to, like, well, obviously, I mean, like, you couldn't make a glass right now, but, like, do you know how it's done?
Mhm.
That's wild.
Dude, I want to get into pottery so bad.
Harry
just like-
Pottery? Sorry.
No, just like I've never like been around an environment of seeing pottery, but just watching people put their hands on
Yeah.
all of that shit and then just molding it.
I mean, everybody wants to be Patrick Swayze in Ghost, man. You know
Oh
what
my
I'm saying?
god.
I mean, I just
I
want
don't
to be
even
Patrick
get
Swayze.
that reference.
It's such a good movie.
What?
It's such a good movie.
It's there's that scene.
It's actually not a good movie, but it's a.
But there's
really
that
good
famous
movie.
scene where the girl is at the pot making thing.
Oh, and he's behind
and he's
her.
a
Behind
ghost.
her, yeah.
Unchained
Oh.
Melody, come
Dude,
on.
no, I just learned about Patrick Swayze like 2 months ago.
All right.
What?
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
it's alright.
The definition of mirror
Uh-huh.
is a reflective surface, now typically of glass coated with a metal help.
With a
This
metal
one,
amalgam that reflects a clear image. Well, okay, but a reflective surface now typically, so I think that anything that's reflective could be a mirror.
No,
You know?
because it says a clear image.
No, but then
Yeah.
would you
This is a pretty-
would you consider
And this is not
like
coated.
a bald ass head with like the light shining on it
A mirror.
Polish.
a mirror?
I mean, I would call it a mirror. That's look. All I'm
You're
saying
like,
is,
bro, duck down. Like, I'll see if my hair look good.
all I'm saying is, I feel like there's a little bit of leeway in terms of what you call a mirror. You know what I'm saying?
Do you
Leeway in
think
the
on
window
like
way.
a good sweaty day,
Uh huh.
Sasuke looks at Sakura and is like, "Can I borrow your forehead?"
He probably loves Sakura the more that they're sweating because he can see himself and he's
Yeah.
a motherfucking narcissistic little bitch.
He's like, yep, still hot.
Yeah, for real.
Dude, no, I just love the amount of confidence he said, yep, I don't know any of this.
Oh
like,
yeah, classic.
that was such a
Icon.
fucking, like,
Yeah, no, that is
big baller move.
absolutely one of my favorite moments from the entire show. Anyways, yeah, the long-tongued girl asked to face Team 7 alone, and Sasuke, who immediately hid under a bush after they were all blown away, is approached by Sakura, but he forces her to say the password before she comes close to him. Perfectly reciting the answer, Sasuke lowers her guard. I kind of thought Sasuke was going to be an imposter
Yeah.
at this point.
It was, I don't know, I kind of expected Sakura, like, to say it, and then Sasuke would fucking stab the shit
Yeah,
out of
right?
her.
Yeah.
That is terrifying.
It really felt like they were setting that up. Naruto runs up to the two next, and Sakura commands he stop and recite the secret phrase. When he does so perfectly, Sasuke fires a kunai at him, which he just barely avoids.
Dude, that entire scene's a roller coaster.
Yeah,
It's
I know.
But
Yeah.
it's so like if you look at it, it's like duh.
Yeah,
They
right.
totally set it up to be like, oh, it was Naruto the first time. Ha! Gotcha. It's
No.
Naruto the second time.
Yeah,
I don't know. I kind of like took it as an act of like endearment because like they're like, all right, guys, this is serious. 5 days, we might die.
Yeah.
Someone's already trying to kill us.
Right.
And he thought like Naruto actually did it. Like he actually gave a shit. That's what I thought. Like he attacked him the first time.
Right,
Because
yeah.
he's like, you gotta be
So,
serious,
wait,
man.
so both times you were actually faked out by the
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, man. That's awesome. I love that. Like, I
I want
love
to believe in Naruto and Sasuke.
Hell yeah. No, it's like watching anything with former co-host Emma because she just
okay. So we were watching the movie Mononoke in theaters, Princess Mononoke
Yeah.
by Ghibli, and there's this one scene where a character starts mowing down other people with
Yeah.
like a bow and arrow stream, and every single time Emma was just like,
Yeah.
like surprised that people were dying.
No,
She
and-
does it while silently reading a book too. Like
Yes.
living with her, she'll just be holding a book and then all of a sudden be like, and I'm like, what happened?
But that's delightful. Like, I love being able to get into something that
Yeah.
much, you know?
She did it with Naruto.
Liam's
all the
a
time
strong
when she was watching for
supporter.
the show.
Well, me and Allie who were sitting. It was Liam, Emma. No, Emma, Liam, me, Allie, and then me and Allie would like, shut the fuck up, Emma. Shut the fuck up, and they'd be
Yeah.
like, no, keep going. This is
I think it's fun.
It's like, let her have her fun.
But
And me and Allie are like, we're not having fun.
We saw Dark Crystal. I saw it with Emma, and it's not the best paced movie. I mean, I love
No.
it, but it's objectively not very good. And Emma fell asleep during it, and in her sleep, she was
Yeah.
That was incredible.
yeah, she was like,
She was like,
"Dad, get the crystal," or something
yeah,
like that. Well, like 100% not.
yeah, I woke her up and she was like, wait, what's going on?
So that's great, man. I love that like kind of fucking engagement. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of Mononoke, actually, if I can take any power I've gotten from the podcast, if someone can take the dub of Mononoke, the
Oh,
gorilla
yeah.
scene where they first meet the gorillas and they want to eat the human, please
There's-
put that up on YouTube.
There's this weird
please.
part in the movie Princess Mononoke where they meet like the gorillas of the forest, and they go, "We want the human. Give us
the
human."
Let us eat the human.
Yeah, yeah, it's-
absorb its power.
And it's because the dub is really high quality, except for that line is just so weirdly done.
Please, if
Yeah.
anyone could do me a favor and isolate that clip and link it to me somewhere, like on the NaruTalk Instagram, whatever the fuck, please do that. I don't want to do it. If you could do it, I'd appreciate that.
Anyways, Sakura demands to know why Sasuke would attack if Naruto knew the password, but Sasuke points out, like, obviously, I mean, it's kind of obvious, but the real Naruto would never be able to memorize it.
Which
You
is
thought
so
Naruto
funny.
was
Yeah.
smart?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
fucking
I love that.
loser.
Sasuke developed a whole plan based on how dumb he knows
Yeah.
Naruto is.
That's not the Naruto I know. That was so powerful.
Yeah. Licking her lips, the enemy ninja reveals herself as the leader of the grass trio, asking why Sasuke would make such a complicated password, and he reveals that, yeah, he was doing it really because he knew someone was eavesdropping, and he knew that Naruto would never be able to remember it.
Yeah.
And she perfectly fell into his trap. Meanwhile, Naruto recovers from the wind blast, only to find himself face to face with an absolutely massive snake.
Holy shit.
The
Yeah.
same one from the beginning who ate the bird, right?
Do you think?
I
Maybe.
don't.
Maybe.
I mean, it must have eaten a fuck ton of birds to be that big now.
Big as
That's
fuck.
true. I think
Or
I
was it just a really big bird?
Yeah.
I never thought of
That's
that.
how I
Or
saw it in my
a
head.
legless lizard.
Well, that's just.
What?
No,
Oh, you were saying maybe I shouldn't call it a snake because maybe it's a legless lizard?
Yeah.
All right.
They're like their own thing. People are like, that's a snake. No, it could be a legless
I
lizard.
do think that this one is a snake,
Yeah.
though.
Are you sure?
It's kind of, yeah.
And I also think that you know that it's a snake, bro.
I just want to believe in legless lizards, man.
No,
Well, you know what, Raj? Believe it.
Yeah,
Believe
but,
it.
I mean,
Oh my gosh.
look, there's another snake coming up. Maybe that one's a legless lizard.
Let's hope and pray.
But, yeah, he finds himself face to face with this fucking beast, and it charges towards him, knocking him back before wrapping itself around his body and just swallowing him whole.
Naruto got vored by a snake.
Yeah.
bro.
Oh, gosh.
That shit is insane.
But yeah, he
Oh
just
my
gets
lord.
sucked up.
That was so cool. I should have waited until you said the next part. But like that was so cool, right back to back with like the snake swallowing him whole and then her swallowing the scroll whole. Like
Oh,
Yeah.
Dude,
That
the
was
scroll got
fantastic.
vored by a
Nice.
snake.
Yeah,
Yes.
nice rhymes. Scroll
Rhymes?
hole and he
Oh.
it doesn't matter.
I
He
didn't
hole,
know.
hole. Yeah. Well, yes, it does. It cuts back to the grass ninja with Sasuke and Sakura, and she reveals that she knows that they're carrying a heaven scroll and that she's carrying an earth scroll. Then, like you said, she wraps her tongue around it and swallows it.
It was just like
It was
a
just like
lot.
Naruto.
Again, I didn't sign up to watch hentai.
Yeah. Well, I sure did. I just didn't know I'd be getting it in these episodes.
That's why you have the scared boner.
Yeah, except, well, that's why I have another tab open.
It's the fucking sub of Naruto open.
Well, I try and watch everything with a scared boner, frankly. Put Saw in one tab and, Hentai Haven on the other.
Oh jeez.
Anyways, yeah. Well, she swallows the scroll and she's like, one of us is gonna die and the other one's gonna leave with both scrolls. And there's no other way about it, baby.
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 Hey, baby.
EBB. Yeah. The enemy's bloodlust casts a genjutsu-like effect on Sakura and Sasuke. Yeah, it like flashes images of them being torn to shreds. Like, it's really graphic. And then
Yeah.
it shows them both being stabbed in the head by kunai.
This, I think, is my favorite, and it's the coolest scene ever.
Yeah,
it is so terrifying.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And
Just that last scene where they're just like stuck with the kunai. in their
Yeah.
head.
Yeah.
Powerful.
and then even finding out that it's not a genjutsu, but just like the force of the grass ninja's strength.
Yeah.
It's still scary because then they fall to their knees and Sasuke throws up. Like,
For real.
that's how fucked up he is. Then he turns to Sakura only to find that she's in even worse condition. She can't even move. And he's like desperately trying to think of a way to escape their just absurdly overpowered opponent.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Naruto, trapped in the legless lizard's
the
stomach.
contrast, bro.
I know.
This is insane.
Naruto's doing just some weird slapstick ass shit.
They're out there dying.
He's stabbing at the inside of it with a kunai, but
Wasn't working,
well,
which was weird.
I think that it's got, like an
It
armor.
probably just feels like heartburn.
Yeah. That's
Weird.
well,
Dude, I had
Like
some
the
heartburn
knives?
today.
Oh
Dude,
my god,
that's
is there a
what-
little Naruto
Yeah, were you
inside
eating-
of you?
were you
Stabbing you
eating a
with a
little
kunai?
I might have.
Yeah, well, he stabs, doesn't work. Then he pulls a rice cake out of his pouch and he's like, well, I was saving this for a snack, but if you let me go, here you go. And he drops it. And of course, that doesn't work. It just gets digested. And he's scared because he's sure that he's going to meet a similar fate.
This dialogue here was like, it's slapstick, but also he was so sad.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I can't
First-
believe it.
I
Is
can't
this really
believe
how
it.
it ends? And I was like, the believe it. Like
Yeah.
it's such a
Dude.
sad
No,
believe it.
It's always sad to hear Naruto say, I can't
This
believe
is your
it.
first
Yeah.
time of you guys hearing I can't believe it. It's iconic
Doesn't
when he
it
drops
hit?
it.
Yeah,
I was like, oh no,
It's
my
straight
baby.
up tragic, yeah. As he slides further down, he calls desperately to his teammates, but they remain paralyzed with fear. Sasuke does, however, slowly manage to pull out a kunai and stand, though he's in no condition to face an enemy. And the grass ninja strolls towards him and Sakura, pulling out two kunai and slinging them at their heads. We see a splatter of blood, and it cuts back to Naruto.
Insane.
Yeah,
That was-
good cuts, good juxtaposition, lot of blood.
Lots of blood.
It's kind of
So
crazy.
It sets
yeah.
the tone really well.
And back with Naruto, he does one of those weird little flashback segments.
Dude,
They
the
showed
kiss
the
was
kiss.
there.
Yeah, I wrote it all down.
Dude, that was my main complaint of the filler. They don't show the kiss.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude,
the
they sing for
first thing.
canon.
Yeah, well, exactly. One thing you'll learn very quickly is that whenever Naruto remembers anything, he remembers the kiss.
Oh,
It's
Really?
powerful. It was his first kiss.
Yeah. It was.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh, and Sasuke's, I think.
Yeah, no, it was both
Probably.
of their
my
first
God,
kiss.
it's
Oh my
adorable.
gosh.
It's so
I
fucking
kind of want to
funny.
watch that episode just like that.
I'm telling you. Yeah. If
You sounded a little bit too excited about that, Katie.
Well, just
We
because
are
I want to
watching
know the
hentai.
context.
I don't
you know?
know. I kind of want to watch that episode.
Hey,
I
listen,
don't know.
man. The NaruTalk podcast can change people. You know.
What?
You never know. You might be interested in anime now. You know.
Yeah, well, even though we were.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Even though both of you did watch some anime before.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
Some
But
of you
But
might
now
not be
we're
interested in hentai.
interested in anime.
with a capital
H.
Yeah.
H
With
tie.
a capital,
A capital H tie.
God, we talk about hentai a lot.
Dude, so many hentai sites have to sponsor us. They just make bank. Like,
I
what
know.
Give
I'll
us
email
money.
them.
Dude, no, for real. They like have to.
Oh.
They'll put our.
I can't wait to never get a job.
No, I just can't wait to
no.
open this up with like. Today's episode is sponsored by Hentai. Hey, we
Yeah,
know what's
I mean,
nice for
let's do
hentai.
it.
I
Keep
can't-
jerking.
I
like-
can't wait to be an elementary school teacher and be like, so what did you do? And I'd be like, was it a podcast? We were sponsored by hentai.
Yeah, well, you know. I
So
mean,
a sponsor's a sponsor. We had to make our
a
bread.
sponsor is a sponsor.
Yeah.
I mean, are they like, as long as they're like an ethical business, you know what
Oh
I'm
yeah,
saying?
you know, if as long as they're not like doing fuck shit.
Exactly.
Well, I mean,
Well,
they're doing fuck
yeah,
shit.
Yeah.
Up top of
I
it.
hate no, I hate
Because
that.
of
Yeah, that was the worst.
sex stuff. Anyways, where the hell were we? Right, so we see that splatter of blood and we cut back to Naruto. He does that weird little flashback, specifically focusing on Sasuke. That's why we see the kiss again. But he thinks about how they've pushed each other and how they are always
That's
reaching
cute.
more impressive heights.
Yeah.
And he remembers specifically during that tree climbing arc when they were out like all night trying to climb up that tree with just their feet.
Yeah.
And when they went back to Tazuna's, they ate food until they threw up. Like they stuffed themselves until vomiting. And so, refusing to let that rivalry go unsettled, Naruto thinks of a way to escape the confines of the stomach. He uses the shadow clone jutsu because that's what made him and Sasuke throw up at Tazuna's.
That shit looks so fucking funny.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
seeing the snake blowed up.
Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know if I would say funny. You see its head flop to the side
No,
and then
you-
blood pouring down.
Because all you see is the snake grow comically bigger, and
Oh,
all
yeah.
your shadow clone
I
jutsu.
don't know. I just thought it was funny because he wasn't trying to get out because he was like, I need to get out to see my friends. He was like, I have not defeated Sasuke yet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, he hasn't gotten that second kiss. at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying?
Gotta do what you gotta do.
And then he's like, but although once he is out, he's like, I'm the future Hokage. I'm not gonna end up snake poop.
Dude, no, they said crap.
Oh, they did. They said
They
crap.
said crap.
Really?
Wow.
I replayed that
Dude,
3 times.
This episode, I mean,
They're pushing boundaries.
they're pushing a lot of.
Yeah.
Because remember, this shit was on Cartoon Network. Like,
I mean, lots of things are on Cartoon Network.
that's true. Cartoon Network puts out some fuck shit.
a lot of fuck shit.
Yeah.
And then Adult Swim would come on, and then we got Xavier running
Even
an
more
Angel.
fuck shit.
My favorite.
Elsewhere, Sasuke has managed to avoid the two kunai by stabbing himself in the leg. That's where that splurt of blood came
Yep.
from. Focusing on the physical pain enough to overcome his mental trauma and dragging Sakura away with him.
This shit. Actually, no, continue.
I mean, it is an important thing to know that you can like snap yourself out of it by
No, it's just like this scene took me for 2 fake outs.
Uh-huh.
Also, because at first I thought, oh, he only took 1 kunai to the knee,
Oh yeah.
and then he
But
escaped.
no, he stabbed himself.
And then, even then, I didn't think he stabbed himself. And I then thought the blood splatter was also Sakura, who finally did something, who jumped in front of him.
Oh shit.
I thought it was going to be her big moment.
Damn,
And it
bro.
wasn't.
Yeah, no.
So when hearing him like, oh no, I stabbed myself, I'm like, this is the most Sasuke thing to ever
Yeah,
happen.
really. Of course he would.
I was praying for Sakura. I really wanted her to have her moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, he removes the knife, bleeding like a lot, But when Sakura asks if he'll be okay, he frantically covers her mouth because he's fucking terrified of the grass ninja.
He's freaking out.
Yeah, Sakura notices how fucking hysterical he is, and in his panic state, he doesn't notice that another giant snake is running up on these two.
That was
Why are there so
funny.
many giant snakes
'Cause
in
they're-
just this circle? Like, at first I was
because
like,
it's
didn't
the
Naruto
forest
just
of
explode
death.
that snake? And then
It is
The
the forest
forest
of
of
No,
death.
if
Yeah.
someone tells you there are animals out there that are gonna kill you and you're in like a ninja world, you gotta expect
they're
like
just
big
all
snakes.
giant snakes.
There's probably like a blue whale somewhere just
Oh.
swimming around
But
in the
then
trees.
also there's this snake girl, so it could be like because you can summon animals. You know,
Yeah.
we've seen Kakashi do that with a dog. So I mean, like I don't know, but I'm just saying like it's or they could just be natural to the forest.
natural.
Or
Natural.
both.
Oh, yeah, or both. I mean, there were two snakes. But yeah, like those leeches. I don't think Shino just had those on him. I think it was.
Have you ever seen like those
Interesting.
mega animal movies, like Anaconda, like shit, like
Oh yeah,
Yes.
sure.
or like I don't know. That was like a guilty pleasure of mine. It was like Megalodon versus like a super gigantic alligator.
I really like the scientific term, super gigantic alligator.
Yeah.
No, it's shit like that. It's like
I would watch that movie.
Giga Kraken versus
Coming this
like,
summer, super gigantic alligator, starring I don't know who would be in that shit.
Starring
Tim
super
Allen, bro.
gigantic alligator.
Tim Allen. Fuck! What a name to pull out of nowhere.
Okay.
Isn't that? Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's Woody, right?
Yeah, that
Oh
is
no,
what-
Buzz.
Yeah, he's Buzz.
Buzz,
He's
yeah.
also Tim the Tool Man on Home Improvement. That's
Oh
a
sure,
show.
sure, yeah.
He's
And
yeah.
the Toolman
also
Taylor.
Yep. Okay, my bad.
he has a movie called Christmas with the Cranks.
Yeah. Have you ever read that book?
There's a
Skipping
book.
Christmas?
No.
It's awful. I had to do a full research project on it in the 9th grade
On the
for
Christmas
English.
with the Cranks book.
Skipping Christmas.
Wow.
It was awful.
What a wacky ass book to make you read.
It was the worst. It was worth a lot
Was
of
your
points.
teacher like a big Tim Allen fan?
No. I don't know why we did it.
I have a feeling that your teacher must have been a big Tim Allen
She
fan.
was
In
not.
in
She
high
was-
school, was there like a theme for the shit you guys read? Because for some reason
No.
in high school, every single grade year in English class, we'd have to read a Shakespeare book. Like we went from like Romeo, Juliet, Macbeth, Hamlet, Julius Caesar.
I think we read one every year, but I think that's just because that's English class.
Oh yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
But wait, yours were themed?
Yeah, it was like, all right, we're gonna teach all of our lessons around Romeo and Juliet.
Oh,
Macbeth,
yeah.
Hamlet.
All right.
Oh.
But did you read other books too?
Like once in a while, like.
Interesting.
I think actually only for my 10th grade English class. The other classes were, 10th and 11th. In 10th we read The Life of Pi, which is
Oh.
kind of amazing.
Yeah, right
That
on.
book is great.
Yeah,
and in
yeah.
11th we read The Crucible, which is kind of lame.
Sure.
Interesting.
That's-
Crucible,
that's-
I never read the
kind
Crucible.
of sucked.
I like the Crucible a lot.
I've heard mixed things. One from Morgan and one from Ross.
I
There's-
like, I
there's
like
a-
it performed better than I like it read.
Oh,
Okay,
actually,
well, that's fair.
my best friend from home was performing it live at their high school the day after we finished the book, and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be great."
Yeah.
And it was because that sucked too, but it was funny because I knew about it now.
Oh yeah, yeah. All right, all right.
I was like, "Oh, I wasn't gonna go into this blind. Like my friend's just playing the lamest character."
Yeah.
It's hard to perform, but if
Yeah.
it's good, it's good.
What is
Well,
the Crucible
to-
about?
well,
Can we NaruTalk it really quick?
Well, first context. My friend was fantastic in the play. You're the best, Sam. I love you. Second, it's about these
Witches.
witches
But
who
not
But like
witches.
who's like the main character?
John Proctor, Corey Giles.
Oh.
Of course, it would be a white man.
It's all white. There's nothing. It's
It's
Oh.
about the Salem witch trials.
Well, I thought it would be about the witches. You know?
No, those are all white girls.
Well, yeah, but at least they're.
Except for
Oh, no,
Tituba.
yeah, Tituba, which is a slave maid
Oh,
who is treated like a slave.
oh
It
boy.
is awful.
Yeah.
But there's witches. People get accused of being a witch.
Yeah.
People fight for the
Dude,
witches.
you
I
are pitching an
graduated from
exciting sounding
Harvard.
play to me right now.
The play is great. I read the book. That's my point.
Oh.
Yeah, we read the-
got
Dude, Morgan was
it.
getting so heated over here.
I wasn't that heated.
You were pretty heated.
I can get far more
No,
heated.
my
I'm just wearing a robe. I'm sorry. I'm old.
my plays and my like musical taste is like pretty mediocre. Actually, for some reason, you know how Instagram when you go to the search feature, like the first 5 are just like recommended.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Dear Evan Hansen was in my recommended. I've never once
Interesting.
looked into it, but it's Katie's like favorite thing ever.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is strange. My phone's really listening to me right now.
Yeah, no, it really fucking does.
If it does matter to any of our listeners, my favorite thing ever is Jesus Christ Superstar, the
Oh,
rock
yeah.
opera.
It's a classic.
So good.
Oh, good. What's
Sure.
the buzz?
Seen
Tell me
half
what's
of it.
happening is the best song
I
ever.
just-
Can we put Raj in Jesus Christ Superstar?
Dude, I would
Yeah,
love
we
to
should.
get fucking whipped as Jesus.
Um,
That's my favorite scene.
I liked that you threw in the as Jesus.
I really want you to play King Herod.
Dude, no, okay, but that thing, the scene where Jesus is getting whipped and he's still singing is the funniest thing. Oh, and
I don't think
Judas
it's supposed
hanging
to be-
himself
I don't
as
think
he's
it's
singing.
supposed to be
it's,
funny.
It's definitely supposed to be
I don't
funny.
No. I mean, I think it adds comedic effect even if it's not intended, because he's obviously getting like bloodied and shit. But like he's just going like, "Ooh, I don't give a fuck," and then like they're like whipping him, it's like, "Ah, to the other cheek." It's
I
like,
kind of want to see Raj in a musical. To
Yeah.
be totally
Yes.
honest.
That'd be fantastic.
Oh, dude, I've always wanted to do Disney on Ice.
Oh. Me too.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I saw High School Musical on Ice when I was a kid.
I've
High School
seen all of
Musical
the
on
Disney on
Ice.
Ice.
Interesting. Well, I've never seen the High School Musical movies, but I did see it on
Wait,
Ice.
seriously?
I think I saw 3.
How
You know
dare
what you did see, Liam?
What?
Episode 2 of Naruto.
Oh, well, episode
Season 2.
28.
It's episode
yeah.
2 of
Episode
season 2.
2.
Yeah. All right.
I was trying, you know what?
Yeah,
Wait,
no,
so
I appreciate it.
Are we changing the way we title them, or is it going to be
No.
episode, or is it still going to be like episode?
Because-
Fuck.
Actually, I don't know. Let's talk about it in the reader response section. But first, we gotta finish this summary. So, this giant snake attacks Sakura and Sasuke, and they jump away, but the giant snake continues its attack on Sasuke. And he gets like a weird PTSD kind of thing. Like, he sees the snake as the grass ninja, you know? And he's like, oh, get away! And he throws a ton of shuriken at the snake,
Yeah.
and they hit, and the snake just dies. But not only does it die, it like hits a tree branch, and then blood starts pooling around it.
Yeah.
Like, it's graphic as fuck.
It really was.
Like they really made an emphasis to show that the blood was splurting out of his face.
Yeah. And then from out of the monster's corpse, the grass ninja appears. But it doesn't just appear. It's like
Slithers out.
Yeah, it's like a snake shedding its skin.
Yeah.
Like a Gorgon.
Maybe.
The fucking Medusa people.
I'm not intimately familiar with.
Well, we learned this yesterday, or no, like a few days ago.
Uh-huh.
So we walked into a group of. Well, I walked into a lounge at our school, and a bunch of kids were playing Monster Girl Dating Simulator.
Sure. Yes.
And one of them decided to. I was like, "What's happening here, fellas?" And one of them decided to give me intricate detail of the girl they're going for, which was a Gorgon, which is Medusa
okay.
characters.
Oh man.
So,
Ugh. Yeah,
this is
well,
what
yes,
she
like a
is.
Gorgon, yeah. But it looks like a birth or a snake shedding the skin. The point is, it's gross and it's animated all moistly
Yes.
and it's
moistly.
having of or
Wet
being,
like. Dank.
yeah, it's animated all dank. But yeah, and then as soon as she comes out of the snake, the first thing she does is like lash her tongue around, yeah, it's gross and weird. And then now it's like a Gorgon because she shoots up the tree after Sasuke like a snake, like her body
Yeah, she became like a snake.
hyperextends. Yeah.
It was.
Just from like the
Terrifying and
torso
so
below.
weird.
But thank goodness, before she can reach Sasuke, she's stopped by a cluster of kunai and shuriken that fly out of nowhere in her path. Naruto has arrived just in time. And Sakura cheers while he lays down his little phrase, He's like, by the way, guys, what's the password?
That was a great moment.
And that's the end of episode 28.
fantastic.
Killer ending.
Yeah.
These two
That was
episodes were
wonderful.
just great.
Yeah, well, of course, next segment. What did you think about the episodes?
Fantastic.
Fantastic, right?
Fantastic.
Katie, last week you said that you couldn't really focus on action, and these were pretty action-heavy episodes.
Yeah, but it wasn't like. See, I'm worse with like these were fine. If it's like a big, like war scenes, I'm really bad with where it's like this group of people and this group of people, and I don't know who's fighting who and what's happening and like.
Well,
what.
see, I was worried because, obviously there are always those slapsticky in-between episodes, but ultimately it is a fight anime.
Yeah,
And
if it's one-on-one, I can mostly
Oh.
follow what's going on.
it's almost always one-on-one.
Okay.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
it's like, but even if it's like the three of them versus the three of them, like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I'll just wait till afterwards, and whoever looks like they're more hurt probably lost.
Morgan, what do you think of these episodes?
I thought they were really good. It was kind of a lot to take in because we were coming off of such like goofy,
Yeah.
cartoony episodes. But I thought they were all really interesting.
I think it helps that 27 was mostly exposition.
Yeah.
You know? And then 28 was all action.
That's true. They flowed very nicely together.
I will say, and I've been throwing it in because I just couldn't not say it, but episode 28 was really graphic. I mean, there was a lot of blood in that episode.
No, definitely. Like, really, I think it sets the tone really well. That this is the forest of death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, this is real shit now.
Well, I guess it was. I mean, we said that it was sudden when the snake eats the bird, but it is a little more progressive than that. Like, over the course of these 2 episodes, and then really hitting in 28, it's like, it's kind of dark now, you know? We're entering a dark section.
For real.
Not as fun as the written exam, which proved to be a weirdly kind of a fun thing to watch.
Yeah, no, these last few episodes honestly have banged so hard.
It's so funny, though, because now that they're in, like, the actual, like, action portion of the exam, Naruto's way more chill. He doesn't give a fuck. He's like, yeah, no, whatever. I'm just gonna be a ninja. But for the the written exam, he was like, I can't take a written exam.
Yeah.
And he, like, freaked out.
Well, because he's strong. He just knows he's an idiot.
It's just so funny how they decided
his
to
like
go
attitude
about.
changes.
Yeah,
Absolutely. All right, let's get into those aforementioned reader responses. First off, we're going to do a couple Patreon shout-outs on the Genin tier, which gets you a shout-out on 1 episode of the podcast. This week, we're going to shout out Patrick. Only gave a first name, but ballin'-ass first name. I mean, absolutely.
that's a good first name.
Yeah, and this guy, $5, so he gets to hear that episode of Rio Radio that we released the other day. Our patrons at the Chunin tier, who get a shout-out every episode, are Dave Mata and Nina Kelly. Now, when Dave Mata started giving us money, he also gave us this nice message, which says, hey dudes, my name's Dave, I'm 27, found you guys this Monday, and it's pretty funny because I actually had just started to rewatch Naruto with my 19-month-old twin boys.
Aww.
Isn't that adorable?
That's adorable.
We got a picture of the 2 little guys like watching.
Yeah.
Naruto.
Well, you know what?
So
it's in the
cute.
Discord server,
Yeah.
which you
Yeah.
can join for $2 a month or more. It's on our Patreon. Yeah.
David the best.
Oh my God, he's so sweet. And he says he was a hardcore Naruto fan in high school, but he figured that he'd listen along with us and help us out by supporting us, which is absolutely great.
Yeah.
And he's like super active in the Discord. Like he's absolutely excellent. And so Nina Kelly and Dave Mata are the 2 at the $10 tier. But yeah, like I said, that Rio Radio episode, you're really gonna want to hear it. Like, we went the fuck off on that shit.
Yes, we did.
It is a wild time, and it's unedited, so you really get to hear some wild shit in that one.
Truly wild.
Yeah, and like we said, it's only $5 or more a month, which also gets you, of course, a shout out, just like Patrick got, and you join the Discord server at $2 or above, which is good. Anyways, you can let us know what you think of the episodes and of us or whatever. Ask questions, let us know what you think about Naruto in general, tell us how you're listening, ask questions, give comments, whatever, at any of our social medias, which are, our Gmail is narutalkpod@gmail.com, our Facebook is NaruTalk, the Naruto ShipPodcast, our YouTube is NaruTalkPod, our Instagram and Twitter are both at NaruTalkPod. You can use the NaruTalk hashtag NaruTalkPod, which I'll probably see if you do that. And our website is narutalk.wordpress.com. Like we said, our Patreon is www.patreon.com/NaruTalkPod, and our microphone completely broke the other day. So this morning I had to go and spend $150 on a new microphone. So really anything you can chip in helps immensely, especially right now. Links for all of that stuff is in the description below, and you can leave us reader responses there. Reader responses such as... Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
All right.
From Twitter, at Amanda Shushman. You said, just binged all your episodes so far. Thanks for making my workday easier, reminding me how much I dislike Sakura. Also, I've made it 24 years without smoking, and now that you mentioned Shikamaru and Kakashi doing it, if the cool kids are, I mean, lol. Anyway, keep it up. Amanda, you're great. Definitely pick up a cigarette smoking habit.
No, don't.
That's exactly
going.
what Emma always said. She was always like, guys, you're really gonna get people to start smoking. And again, for I feel like we've made this perfectly clear, but we do not endorse smoking cigarettes.
Not at all.
All we're saying is that everything we've seen and been shown our entire lives on all commercials and pieces of media
For sure.
have told us that
Cigarettes
smoking is cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's the coolest thing you can
And
do.
who am I to disagree
With big cigarettes.
with big cigarettes?
So Amanda, if you need a boost in coolness of your life, pick up a pack. And you're great.
Thank you so much for listening,
you're the best.
and thank you for writing in. Katie, do you want to go next?
Sure. On Instagram, Patrick Bingstrom, which is that the same Patrick? Do we know?
It might be.
Interesting.
We don't know for sure. If it is, thank you, Patrick.
He said, "Hi fam, is there a platform where you can watch Naruto dubbed legally? I understand the US has it on Netflix, but I live in Sweden and Netflix here doesn't have it." Which Raj mentioned earlier in this episode that he watches it on Hulu. So probably I don't.
Maybe
I
try
don't know
Hulu.
if it, yeah. I don't know if it has it there.
Finish off that.
Really?
Yeah.
Right now I use Kiss Anime, but I'm kind of tired of all the pop-ups, which are the worst because I've watched a lot of shows on there. And Crunchyroll doesn't have the dub. This podcast is 10 out of 10 bushy brows.
Right. Okay. So the first part, honestly, I don't know anything about listening to any of this outside of the country. And to be honest, obviously we can't endorse piracy because we're a podcast.
Yeah.
But I would say if a company makes it impossible for you to consume something legally, well, I mean,
Okay, so I actually had this experience last December when we were on winter break. There's an anime called what was it? It's some fucking wild shit.
deep cut.
But you can't get it anywhere except for DVD, and that shit is.
And the DVDs are probably out of print.
Yeah, they're all out of print, out of stock, and you can't even fucking get. Oh, Paranoia Agent. You can't watch Paranoia Agent legally without buying a DVD.
Yeah,
anywhere. So
unfortunately, we can't really help you, and honestly, like, it's a difficult situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Pop-ups are so the worst.
Yeah, that's true. I do love that he said 10 out of 10 bushy brows, though.
Yeah,
because we always say that you should write in and make up your own rating system, and they, Lee with his bushy eyebrows. Yeah.
That's
so
fantastic.
That's absolutely fantastic rating system, and I'm sorry that we couldn't help you out more with your problem, but the reason I wanted to read it out so badly is I'm sure there are plenty of people facing a similar problem, and that's the thing. If access for you is made impossible, you got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely, find your way. Believe it.
Yeah.
Believe it.
But not Rio Radio. Pledge to the Patreon.
Yeah,
for that.
please.
All right, Morgan.
This is from Instagram user Pamira, I think.
Uh-huh.
I listen to it on Spotify, mostly when I'm cleaning, headphones in, and remembering how baby Naruto was in the first episodes.
True.
It is kind of weird to look back at Naruto with basically no skills, but he still kind of wins every fight. Lots of love from Germany.
Wow, from Germany.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Wow.
incredible.
Yeah.
Dude, we're going across the ocean now. This is insane.
That's so exciting. Yeah, and I'm just glad that I'm glad that you're rewatching with us. I'm glad that you're seeing how baby Naruto was.
Naruto is baby.
Naruto is baby.
That's actually like a personal friend of mine from Germany also told us he was watching this show finally. I think, dude, we can get big in Germany. I really think we have the potential to blow up there. And then we could go out there.
I'll buy some ads in Germany as soon as I
get German NaruTalk ads.
As soon as I make back the money from this fucking microphone.
$150, man. That's
so many dollars.
That's a lot of dollars.
All right, so we've also received 2 pretty beefy emails in the past 2 weeks, but since we're only doing 2 episodes on this week and next week, I figured that I'd read them out and we can talk about those a little bit.
Yeah.
Can I use one of your phones? Because mine's on the actual episode outline.
Yeah. Here you go.
Okay, gnarly. All right, this first one is, well, the email was a different name than the email was signed. And usually I go by what the email name is, but I'm going to assume it was what was signed. So the email is from Francesca. And the email says, and feel free, just like you would with the outline, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to talk about this a little bit. It's a really good email. Hey guys, this is my first time sending in a response, so I hope I'm doing it the right way. You are. Hello, welcome to the show. I wanted to address some confusion from September 2nd's podcast episode. There was some confusion regarding the Naruto episode 21 when Sasuke notices a change in Sakura's attitude on the morning of registration. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, Sakura, you're different." And we were all like, What
the fuck?
Yeah, why? So this is really interesting. It had nothing to do with Sakura not seeming as infatuated with Sasuke, and it's linked to the compliment Sasuke gives her regarding the genjutsu on the second floor later on. So it all ties together. Sasuke basically noticed Sakura's low self-confidence regarding her abilities. the whole little subplot, if that's what it's called, is a lot clearer in the manga.
Oh.
Which is so frustrating. I hate when anime fucks with shit up.
No, for real, man.
And the Francesca continues and points out that filler bit where Iruka disguises himself as that enemy ninja,
Yeah.
which, as I said, is filler. Like, that kind of detracts from the focus of the episode.
Word.
Which is crazy, yeah. The chapter in the manga corresponding to this subplot is called Sakura's Depression.
Oh.
Oof.
I know,
fun.
that's so sad. But the focus on the chapter was, as implied by the chapter title, Sakura's Depression, which was rooted in her low self-confidence about her abilities, which was triggered by Sasuke's comment to her about her when he says,
Oh my god.
why don't you go practice your jutsu, because that's even worse than Naruto's.
Oh, fuck.
Oh wait, so then is this also why when they were like, it was like the whole third floor, second floor thing, he was like, you picked up on it, right, Sakura?
Yeah,
I was
we're-
thinking he was just calling her
No,
out.
we're going to get back to that in just a
Oh,
minute.
okay.
Yeah. No, absolutely you're right. I think the point ultimately of this email is that it's all tied together. Yeah.
Oh.
Exactly. Sasuke then publicly recognizes Sakura as having the best analytical skills on the team. That's when they're further up, and he points out the genjutsu thing, restoring her self-confidence and sort of lifting her up. Furthermore, Sasuke is shown to take pleasure or satisfaction in Sakura's regaining of her self-confidence, as shown because in the manga there's a panel solely dedicated to him smiling when he says that to Sakura.
Oh.
I know, that's so sweet, and we totally don't get that in the anime.
I know.
Yeah, so that obviously picks up and improves Sakura's mood and spirits, and that's why in the anime we see her grab the boy's hands and like sort of dance off. But it makes a lot more sense
Yeah.
if you know
Yeah.
that she went on this whole journey. Yeah, basically the email continues to talk about this whole subplot, but that's the thing, is that there was an entire subplot that it wasn't missing from the anime, but just the filler confounded it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sucks.
Yeah.
Filler sucks.
Yeah, well, and Francesca even says, like, I know you're going over the anime, but I felt like bring it up in case it helps clarify. You know, I didn't want to be a manga purist. Like I said manga when I was a kid. But, yeah, no, not at all. Like, that's great. If you notice something that we miss because it's a manga-only thing, please point it out.
Yeah.
We don't want the filler shit in there, and, like, I can't catch all of it.
I
Like,
can't read. Please. This is
No,
the only
like,
way I could see it.
I was doing a reread of Naruto when we started this podcast, but I've already, like, I'm way past where we are now. And so I've got a couple things, like, noted in my mind, but yeah, stuff like this just totally passed me by. So again, like, really thank you, Francesca. Absolutely brilliant email. Exactly the kind of thing that we're looking for. Please like, subscribe, rate, whatever you do,
Yes.
wherever you are, do it that way. It's a great way to get in touch with us. Leave a 5-star review. We'll always read them, even if they're negative. Can somebody pull up a 5-star review?
Word.
Sorry, yeah.
Will do.
Yeah, because that is an absolutely fantastic way, other than, I guess, Patreon chat.
Do you want me to read them, or you want
Here,
to
just
do
think
it?
about it. Yeah, so any 5-star review is greatly appreciated. For example, Sappy Pinata said, I love this so much. You guys are so funny, and this podcast is going to get me through the summer. I love you guys.
We love you.
We love you.
Yes.
We really do.
Yes.
You're the best.
Yes.
So much love.
Yes, and every time I check and see if there's a 5-star review, because I don't get notifications for it, so I have to go in and check. And so if I see a new one, it's like opening a fucking Christmas present. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Fuck
yeah, so I really appreciate those. And you know what, even if they're negative, if it's the 5 stars, that's what's good for our algorithm. So, like, if you really hate something about us, tell us through a 5-star
Let us
review.
know, yeah.
And it'll soften the blow. Because honestly, otherwise, I'll just freak out and block it out of my mind.
Yeah, we're
you
all
know?
so fragile and broken.
Exactly.
Please just 5-star
Well,
complain.
Let it, like, give us room for improvement.
Yeah. Or even just shit on us, but with 5 stars.
That too.
A
It's-
5-star
it's like a
shit would
compliment
hurt.
sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hurts less. Big thanks as always to Glenn Federico, who new patron actually, but he gets his shout out in a later episode. But he designed our little logo, the NaruTalk, the ShipPodcast thing, and of course Ali Caruso, who does our episode art. Next Monday, and every Monday, we are going to be watching, we don't watch these episodes every Monday, but I mean, next Monday, which is when the podcast always releases, we're going to be watching episodes 29 and 30. So let us know what you think of those episodes if you watch ahead. And once again, if you listen to this episode and you're like, nuts, that's all my NaruTalk for the week. No, it's not, because there's that Rio Radio episode.
Yeah.
So sling a couple bucks that way and check out that episode, it's important to the podcast canon, I would say.
Yes.
I would say so.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
There's quite a few revelations in there, I think.
It's basically Katie and I's coming of age story.
Yeah, and plus you get to hear from Allie again, which is always exciting, you know?
Shout out Allie.
Yeah. All right, so I guess all that's left to do is thank everybody so much for listening. We really appreciate it, and we appreciate you telling your friends and everything that you do. It is incredibly humbling and really just fantastic. All right, everyone. Be safe, have fun, believe it!